I think the first thing that definitely pulled me to Erin was her ass. She's got this it's like a perfect shape. You know, there's not too much depth to it, but it's got like just enough muscle.
That's not even what she said.
Oh.
What's the favorite quality that the other one brings out in you?
Okay. Scratch that. My appreciation for her ass. That's what it. No.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And this is our couples Q&A. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What's up, everybody?
Hi. This is our couples Q&A. I made a post on Instagram about 2 weeks ago now because this is our third attempt because of him. But anyway, I've been wanting to put more video content out for a little while now, and I thought this would just be a good way for you guys to get to know us and share a few laughs with us.
Yeah, I've been kind of pushing for this for a while now, and even so much that I'll go on camera and embarrass myself to get her to open up to you guys a little bit more. She's got just tons of insight and wisdom to share that I've been pushing for this, and it is my fault. I will take blame for that. It took so long. I also got sick, so if that's any kind of a caveat or an excuse. So yeah, let's get to it.
Cool. All right. So let's start here. This first one is from my sister, who knows us both pretty well. She says, since dating, what is your favorite quality that the other one brings out in you? What is the one thing that the other does that drives you insane? My willingness to share with others. Jordan, every time he learns anything, anytime he has anything to offer, he really just wants everyone around him to learn and grow, and it's really just kind of contagious. So watching him and just how much he genuinely loves to help people, like every Instagram comment he receives, everything, he is so like just genuinely like appreciative of it and just loves to grow and pay it forward, and that's something that he's really helped me a lot with that I appreciate. It's
a pretty good answer. It's way better than mine. Erin has brought out a new level of work ethic, I think, in myself, especially as it pertains to consistency. I mean, there will be times when Erin's a hard fucking worker, and I always did consider myself to be on pace too, and I probably am on average relative to most people, but she grinds, and she puts in a lot of hours, and it a lot of times it'll depend on me doing the same for me to be able to hang out with her. So, you know, we'll go on work dates, and I'll get a lot of stuff done that I probably typically wouldn't otherwise. So I like that quality a lot. That's definitely manifested.
What does the other one do that drives you insane? He forgets everything, and he doesn't even try to look most of the time. He just asks me where it is. So that's annoying.
Yeah. I think it's a woman's job in a relationship to keep tabs on stuff. I don't know. It's just,
I've accepted it as my job.
I'm pretty sure that was in like the original scripture. From my perspective would be...
Careful.
This is on camera, so you can't abuse me. Well, when she's dieting, I'm starting to realize that and this isn't something that I knew early on because I was the one dieting when we met. So she's definitely short fused and a little bit impatient and not as willing to goof off. And she gets into a serious mode when she's in a deficit. And that's something that doesn't necessarily bother me, but I kind of miss old Erin at times, you know. I'm like, come on. I'm like, just eat something.
Yeah, I'm not good at this. Do you guys have very different personalities or similar? We're similar in a lot of ways. I think we think a lot alike, and I think when we're together, we're pretty similar. When we're around other people, I'm definitely the more reserved and introverted one, and it really works out kind of nice because he can jump in and kind of be the buffer of a conversation and deal with everything I don't want to deal with, and then kind of passes me along. So that part of us is a little bit different.
It's a good point. Yeah, a lot of times Erin's very modest, especially when it comes to interaction in public. You know, a lot of times people will ask Erin what she does for a living, and she has trouble even answering that because she doesn't want to come off as conceited. And it's noble, but it's also kind of frustrating for me when I'm looking across the room and I'm like, just tell them, like explain to them what you do. You know, you make money doing exactly what you love, helping other people. Yeah, so a lot of times I'll jump in and kind of answer that for her.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Yeah, we definitely think a lot alike when it comes to intellectual type values. We're both very curious people. And that's the first thing that drew me to Erin, to be honest, was, well, number two behind her ass. But just her curiosity. And, you know, I'm constantly wanting to dive deeper into subjects, not only nutrition and fitness, but, you know, philosophy or something as simple as like weather patterns or anything that's new that I come across. I can share it with Erin, and she shares that same level compassion for new information that I do, or passion for new information. And I think on that regard, we definitely share a lot of similarities.
Yeah, for sure. How was it like letting someone in after your divorce, and is marriage something you want again? Honestly, with him, really easy. Like, I was never bitter of like, I'm never gonna love again, that sort of thing. I wasn't looking for it, and I didn't really care to, but he made it extremely easy. We trust each other 100% on many levels, and I wasn't gonna let a wrong or bad experience jade that for me. As far as marriage, and if it's something I want again, this is another thing we've kind of like bonded over, because I think we both have a very similar and realistic view on marriage. I'll let you go.
You just threw me to the wolves. I would forget that she was in this midst of a divorce, and for a long time, it was really easy for me to talk to her about it and to let her vent and everything else, because I feel like when you're truly in love with somebody, you're able to take a very objective perspective on their life, and you don't feel possessive, you don't feel jealousy, because I have felt those things in the past, and it's typically because it's artificial. It's something that just isn't real, it doesn't have any substance. So that really caught my attention early on, to realize that, I can talk to her about this without any kind of emotion tied to it. I just want her to get through it. Girls have a very fairy tale vision in marriage. It's something that's been ingrained in girls from such a young age, with media and your parents and tradition and everything. I think that's great. I'm not against marriage by any means. Just for me, I feel like it's a very dangerous contract to get in, when, especially early on, when you don't know what that person's going to be like in 10 years and 15 years. And for me, I don't think that it requires any kind of a authority, especially a government authority, to tell two people that they're going to be in love and going to be with each other forever. We're in love with each other, and that's...
Yeah, it really is kind of nice that we're on the same page with that, and I'm not going to sit here and say I'm never going to do that ever again, because I don't know that. But I'm in no hurry, and it's nothing even on my radar. I'm not even thinking about it. It's just not the same glorified idea that it once was, given my experience. And I think that's still a great experience. I'm very happy that I've gone through everything in my life to get to this point. I think every single thing happens for a reason, and I'm happy, really happy with the way life is right now.
But I might ask her to marry me one day.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Do you guys always work out together? Are you able to spot him if need be? We don't always. I have a pretty good system with a couple of my good friends that I work out with in the mornings, and that's always nice to have our little bit of girl time and social hour too. We do really enjoy working out together, and we do every chance we get. It's probably only like once a week now. I spot him if I need to. Really, anybody can spot anybody. It's just a little bit of...
reverse resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love working out with Aaron. We first started training together when I was prepping for a show. I was training probably a little bit recklessly. It was my first competition, and I was going so hard, doing too much, thinking that more input was going to be better and going to result in a show where...
I was doing keto and not adapting, and I was really miserable with these 2.5-hour workouts.
Yeah. So we were training with a lot of volume and intensity, and she just pushed right through, and it was so impressive to me, and it was actually very arousing, if I'm being honest. Like, just the fact that she has this internal drive, and she fights with herself, and I can see it in her, not only just working out, but just in life, and it's so magnifying for me and appealing. So yeah, I love working out with her.
My friend Jenna asked, who told you about Jordan, or who told you that you should go out with Jordan? So this is kind of a funny story of how we met. A couple other people asked that. If you wanna tell that story. Yeah.
So I knew about Erin, or I knew who she was for a while before we'd met. We had mutual friends, and just through social media as well, especially being we're in the same community, and a few mutual friends as well, like I mentioned. So I kind of knew her, and like she said before in the previous question, she puts a lot of her thought process out, and I would read some of her posts and just think, man, like this girl just gets it, gets intellect at a certain level that I really respect. And so for a long time, I kind of I guess jonesed you and would send her DMs that were just completely ridiculous, and
huge douchebag.
Yeah, asking her if she would coach me and all, just anything I could do to try to get in front of her, because that was really what I wanted to do, was just to get in front of her. And it was even to the point where I was thinking about showing up at her gym and trying to meet her and all these things. Well, eventually I let it go. A few months went by, and she started posting about her keto process. She was trying out like a ketosis diet, or ketogenic diet, that is. And I had also experimented with that about a year prior, and I was just responding to a few of her posts with general advice. Specifically she was talking about protein intake and and also sucralose or artificial sweeteners. And I was just saying, hey, you know, that can sometimes, there's a process called gluconeogenesis where excess protein can sometimes convert into glucose and throw you out of ketosis. But I was just commenting generally out of wanting to help, and I think that's why she sort of picked up on it.
You actually were a huge help.
Yeah, and she respected that. You know, I wasn't coming at it with any kind of an agenda. I was just like, hey, here's what worked for me, and have you tried this, etc. And that really led into us linking up. So we then scheduled a doggy date. I brought Zeke over here, and Zeke sealed the deal.
For sure, yeah.
I mean, nobody can turn Zeke down, so
no.
I owe him a lot for that.
The Berg Life 5 says she misses the singing and dancing girl on the stepper. Well, that's not because of Jordan. That's not because I'm working out with him all of the time. That's simply because it's 20 degrees here in Ohio and my stepper's in my garage. And because I've had to chill out on cardio just a little bit. So I'm doing a little bit less than normal and not as intense. So my stepper isn't getting as much action these days.
What made you both decide to work with the same coach? And why did you decide to utilize a coach right now, both competing soon? So there's a coach in the spectrum of fitness and the sport of bodybuilding named Nick Tong, and he's just a stud. He's a scientific approach type guy that tells it how it is. And you know, for example, Erin came to him with all of her data and all of her information, and he was like, look, you need to scale back and pull your cardio back, and we need to find out if you're even able to facilitate a deficit. You know, where
right.
a lot of coaches will just say, okay, they'll take a girl on or guy. They might have been in a deficit already for several months, and they'll say, okay, whatever you want to do as a client, I'm just going to do to make you happy until you pay me. So it's like, all right, let's go ahead and start pulling your calories, which is horrible on metabolism and on hormones. And so anyways, we both respected Nick a lot.
Right.
And we decided, hey, look, let's work with a coach. So we both have an objective opinion. I wanted to gain some mass for my off season. It just fit. He's great. So far, he's been excellent. He's been pretty hard on Erin.
Yeah, and that not the entire reason, but a major component of choosing to work with a coach is that accountability. That is priceless. Just even for me, who's been dieting like this and competing since 2011, knowing you have to check in with somebody really is all the difference. You can get in your mind so much when you're your own coach. You can justify things really easy. So knowing you're sending photos and macro numbers and things was a huge driving force for me. I
want to say something on that real quick too. With working with a coach, what a lot of people don't understand is that the coach isn't there to walk you through and baby you through the process. The coach is there to give as much back as you put into the process and their plan. So, you know, if you're not involving yourself and being diligent and checking in and really trying to meet those goals, then what's the point? Why did you hire a coach?
Yeah.
You know, just keep that in mind.
Right.
We do want to extend this. There are several really good questions in here. We don't want to keep this first video as too long. I know a lot of people have lives, which might surprise some people. So we want to try to keep this short. If you guys want, if you want us to elaborate on more questions, answer more that you guys send in on the comments, just let us know. Send Erin a message or put something in the comment section. And also, if you would, just subscribe to the channel so we put more stuff out. You guys will get notified. And hopefully we can build a little community around this, just spreading some kind of a positive message and information.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to putting out more content. We have conversations all of the time where we're like, we just need to put the camera on because this is good. And just a lot of useful stuff, a lot of funny stuff, a lot of things that I think a lot of people will be able to relate to. Just our minds, they bounce back and forth off each other pretty well. And we're excited to start sharing with you guys. So one more. This is Jordan's niece, Kamdyn. She's 4 years old?
She'll be 4. My sister's going to kill me. You just put me on the spot. She's going to be 4 in February. I'm sorry, Kamdyn. I definitely adore her. She asked a really good question here.
She wants to know if Jordan lives at your house and if she can come over sometime. Kamdyn, you can come over anytime. And
no, I do have my own house or my own place downtown. So even though I do sometimes overstay my welcome here, I love being around Erin, and we do spend a lot of time together, but we both have our own space. So I'll go back home, and it's nice too because I live downtown in a metro area. We can go down there, go around the short north to shops and out to dinner, which not so much right now, but we do have our own places. So.
All right. Well, that's all we're going to do for now. Like Jordan said, if you want to see more, hear more, if you have other questions, we're both pretty much an open book. So drop them in the comments. Give us any ideas of anything else you'd like to see. We have a few of our own, but
slide in those DMs.
Yeah, it works.
I've always wanted to say that. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.